Day 42 of the travel vlog. Isn't time flying? And we're on the move with our research. We're on the move to Bali today.
We are. It's our second destination in our 12-month-long Southeast Asia trip.
Yeah.
So we are now looking into what we're going to do for the month that we're going to be spending there. So we're doing some research. We have some notes. And the first area...
Good old notes, eh?
Yeah, the first area that's been recommended is Ubud.
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 Yeah, and I've just been online to find out the correct pronunciation because I think I was saying Ubud and
Or Ubud.
it's oo. It's like the two O's. So
all right. Ooh.
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 Ubud. Ubud.
Ubud.
Ubud. How many times can we say Ubud?
Ubud.
So anyway, our research is all about Ubud and what to expect there.
Okay.
Did we agree we were going to spend a whole month in Bali? We did, didn't we?
No, I thought we said 2 weeks in the end.
Did we reduce it down? That's why I just questioned that in my head then, because I think we did.
I think we reduced it down because we're not people to just lie around on beaches.
Yes.
And I think to our knowledge of what you were saying and what I've looked at is it's mainly forestry or beaches there. So there isn't that much to do for a month.
Hence why we're doing research. So we'll go through Ubud and we'll find out if it's for us or not.
Yes.
But it's always good and handy to tell you as well.
Because it might be
what
for you.
To expect. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what this is all about. It's about freedom. It's about lifestyle. And everyone's lifestyle and freedom is different. Ours will be different to yours, maybe. I don't know. But that's what the channel's all about. So let's get looking at it, shall we?
Before we do that, I've just noticed it's very, very hot in the UK today.
And Patrick's sweating.
And we're not used to this kind of heat. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on in our 12 months in Southeast Asia.
Well, one thing I do know, I've got quite a few of these kind of tops and I quite like them. Debbie buys me these and I love them.
Which are perfect for the UK climate.
As a rule of thumb.
Usually.
But because we're having, it's slightly hotter in the UK at the moment, I'm sweating cobs in them. So the bottom line is, I think I'm going to wait until we get to Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Before I get a new wardrobe. How exciting, eh?
Yeah, it's usually the woman that does that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in this partnership, it's Patrick.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Patrick enjoys shopping far more than I do, so I'm okay with that.
So you always look good, so don't worry.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just going to have a nice cup of tea whilst we're...
Yes. Patrick will probably sip away nicely at his tea while I read through the notes, so bear with me. What to expect? It's Bali's cultural and spiritual hub. So it's a jungle town and it's famous for its rice terraces, temples, art markets and wellness scene.
Cool.
The climate is hot and humid year-round, 25 to 30 degrees. And if you want to avoid the rainy season, that's between November and March. But
Which
that is
recommended, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously that's what keeps the landscape looking so lush, isn't it, when they have that rain?
Yeah.
The vibe is very peaceful, spiritual and creative. Great for yoga lovers. Now, I like yoga. Patrick, not so much.
Obviously, you can tell by my physique.
Well, you can't tell by my physique, but, I do my best. It's good for art seekers and anyone looking to recharge. So it's like Patrick said, already is starting to sound like a very... relaxing, which if you're just going on a 2-week holiday, I totally get it. You just want to chill and do nothing.
Yep.
But because this is a 12-month tour, if you like, that we're doing, we're thinking that 2 weeks will probably be enough in Bali.
Yeah, because the idea of the channel really is to travel around and see if freedom lifestyle is possible and to show you what we've experienced firsthand. So you can make your own decision up before deciding on doing this yourself by following us. So if you do want to follow us on our journey, do subscribe, hit the like button because it all helps. And if there's any information you could pass on to us, we'd really appreciate it.
Yes, please do.
So do drop something down in the comments. That'd be great.
Yeah, always happy to hear from you. Transport there, it's recommending Grab again, which we talked about yesterday actually in Kuala Lumpur.
And if you look, it says ride share, so it might be a little bit different to Uber, where
yes, where
you can
share
just put
it.
your hand up, and if there's room in the car, someone jumps in.
Who
Hence
knows?
why it's cheaper.
Who knows? Scooters are cheap, but it does say the roads are chaotic, so be cautious. Now, I love a scooter, but not if it's chaotic.
Yeah, we go scrambling.
So the top things to do in Ubud is Tegalalang rice terraces. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a scenic walk with lots of swing photo opportunities. Now, we did talk about the swing photo opportunities in one of our previous videos, and I find it quite fascinating. But what it's like in reality, we shall see.
It's only £1.
It's only £1 for you to do that. So that's good.
It's an experience, isn't it?
Yeah. Then there's Turta Empel Temple, which is 75 pence. And that's a sacred water temple. I like the idea of that, a water temple.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see exactly what a water temple is.
Yes.
And
because I've never been to one.
Yeah.
And they say a sarong is required, I imagine, to cover up, especially for ladies. Ubud Monkey Forest, 1,200 or
Plus.
more monkeys.
Yeah. So watch your belongings, because the little blighters will have them.
£6 that is, to go and get something stolen from the monkey.
Yes. Yeah, you've got to be careful with those monkeys, because they creep up on you, you know.
They do.
It's like they crept up on me in Gibraltar, and they jumped out my skin.
Luckily, we were safe and unscathed.
This monkey just looked at me as if, and?
He did, to be fair. I mean, it was his territory, so can't blame him. So then there's an elephant cave called Goa Gaja.
Oh, right, that's weird.
And that's a
cave.
9th century
Cave temple.
Now, that is going back some, isn't it?
Wow, yes.
£2.50 to get in there, in British money. Then there's the Gunung Kawi Royal Tomb. So there's lots of tombs up in these mountains.
Yeah.
Historic temple complex in the jungle. Again, only £3. So this is all affordable sounding at the moment.
It's, for day out, come on. I mean, we're talking pennies on the pound, aren't we, really?
Yeah. And then there's a Kampuan Ridge Walk, which is free. It's a peaceful 2 kilometres walk with valley views. I bet those views are spectacular.
I bet they are. Yeah, that sounds lovely.
It does, doesn't it? As long as it's not hiking, I think I'm okay. Because if you've been watching any of our other videos, you might have come across me saying I'm asthmatic. And I don't know how I'm going to get on with the climate is the first thing. And then obviously anything.
And then the higher you go, obviously, the thinner the air is.
Yes. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that everything is going to be fine. Because I would like to see those valley views. Being a girl from the valleys myself,
Yeah, Welsh girl.
Rhondda Valleys in Wales. I don't think they look anything like that though. Wellness and experience. Lots of people go there for that. There's a Mount Batur sunrise hike. See, now that's not for me. It's a hike.
That's a pickup at 2 a.m. in the morning.
That's definitely not for me.
And it includes breakfast.
It's a guided hike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for all you hikers out there, fair play.
Yeah.
Just not our thing, is it?
And it's only £20, 20 to £25.
And I bet they'll see some spectacular scenery.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
But again, with my asthma, probably not sensible.
Yeah. The trouble is, if you go on something like that, it's not like Debbie doesn't want to go on these things and that. It's just that if we did take a chance to go on something like that, and maybe you feel like this as well, once you're out there, there's nowhere you can go. You can't back out because it's a tour, because you've been picked up, you've taken along. There's nothing you can do about it. So we have to be quite sensible on our limitations, I think, as human beings. Yeah. I mean, we've all got different limitations, and we've got to...
And we're different ages as well, so we have
to
take all of that into account.
You've got to think about your safety as well, because, slow travel, freedom lifestyle is all about lifestyle. It's not about pushing yourself when you could be in danger.
Yes, we never put ourselves in danger.
That's probably another channel you need to go on.
So on to the next one, which we probably won't be doing because it is quite dangerous, is white water rafting.
See, I'd love to do that.
Well, I've done it. I did it in my younger days on a Caribbean island, and I thoroughly enjoyed the experience, and I came away unscathed. But what I will say is my best friend did the same experience and basically lost her two front teeth.
Wow. What was she? Headbutting the rocks as she went down?
No, she had the oar, obviously, and it hit a rock and backfired into her face.
Wow. See, you don't even think of stuff like that, do you?
No. So I think of that because I was there at the time. And it was just so horrific for her. It was awful. It was a really bad experience, compared to the experience that I'd had.
Yeah.
So you do have to consider these things, you have to be
careful.
Yeah,
but you've got to be, at the same time, you can't over-consider, otherwise you never do anything.
No. So are we going to do that then?
We'll see how bad, we'll have a look to see how rough it is. If it's really rough, then, we've got to consider,
to be fair,
consider our age and our health.
Yeah, to be fair, I think she was just very unlucky.
Yeah.
So maybe we will. Maybe that I won't let that put me off. But that is only 18 to 20 pounds per person, which I think we paid more than that. I'm talking like decades ago.
Right, cool.
So that's a really good price for that. Okay. You could get a Balinese massage, which is for an hour, and that's £4 to £10.
Oh, lovely! I love a massage.
I've had
a couple of massages in my life, and they've been I just fall asleep.
I think I would really like to indulge in some massages there. Not only because they're so affordable compared to everywhere else around the world. It's something that I've never typically done as a young woman. So I think I'm getting into that now. Well, yeah, I actually quite like the idea.
A bit more relaxed about it.
Yeah, or a bit pampered maybe.
Yeah.
I quite like that idea. It's affordable and easy to find everywhere.
Yep.
So that'll be good.
So they're usually £4 to £10.
There's a signature Ubud wellness experience, and that's a flower bath spa experience. Now that is a bit more expensive. It's £35 to £75. So that's got to be one great experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look at that beforehand because otherwise I'd be going, can I be bothered?
Yeah, well,
just to sit in a bath full of flowers.
Is that what it is? I mean, we don't know until we get there. Or if you just fancy joining in on a yoga class, there's drop-in classes everywhere, and they're about £5 to £8, which again is really good value. Things to avoid. Now, this really disappointed me when I read this. It's the tourist swings. They're overpriced, £30 for a few minutes.
Yeah, so I suppose with YouTube, Instagram, and all these influencers, the bottom line is that
it's their business.
They're coining it in, and they're going, right, I can get a quick shot out of this, 30 quid, it's worth it.
Yes. So from a business perspective, yes. Yeah. But from I'm just going to sit on a swing for seconds, probably.
Yeah. Well,
just to have a photo.
I wouldn't pay £30.
That's a lot of money.
I'd go and get some rope and a bit of wood for 30 quid and make my own and then start charging.
Where's the health and safety in that?
Exactly. It's probably the same as what they're selling you.
And again, the monkeys can be aggressive. So it's saying don't bring food into monkey forest and secure your bags. Yeah, and common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scooter injuries. Many tourists end up hurt. Wow. Only rent if you're very confident. But they do range from £3 a day.
I mean, that's mad, isn't it? £3 a day.
£3 a day.
We'll probably get some.
I'm hoping
because I think me and you are confident enough on a bike.
Well, and on roads, yeah. But it depends how crazy the traffic is there, because it's not always about your competency, is it? It's about everybody else around you.
And the thing is, we can try it for a day. If we don't like it, for £3, we can just get off after an hour if need be,
and take it back
when if you don't want to do it.
And again, as we've mentioned many times, is temple dress codes always bring us along.
Yeah.
Now we move on to where to stay and rough prices. So your luxury options could be a hotel or villa, and there's a place called Como Shambhala Estate, and this is best for wellness, detox, yoga, and riverside luxury. Now this is
very
expensive. Dear. It is 450 to 500 British pounds a night.
That's hitting tourists. That's all. That's what that's all about. That's mad.
Of course it is. That is a total tourist price there.
You know, what a difference from Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you didn't see the Kuala Lumpur one, check out. It was yesterday's
Yeah.
video. The prices are just unbelievably different. There's another place called Capella Ubud, and that is 750, even more pounds per night. And that is an ultra luxe tent. You're paying £750 for a tent.
I mean, fair play to you if you want to pay that, but I just wouldn't even consider it. I mean, I would want one of these Hollywood villas
with a maid
hanging over the jungle,
and a cook,
a maid, a butler. I'd probably want a supercar out the front drive, a helicopter, and maybe even a yacht in the back garden.
Yeah, sounding really tight now, aren't they? But that place apparently is an award-winning resort. So
it would have to be at £750 plus.
It would, wouldn't it? And the final one in the luxury options, this is Antara Ubud Resort, and that's £400 plus, and that's a hillside retreat with an infinity pool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can come across them in many other countries, so I do think that's very overpriced.
Yeah,
personally.
I wouldn't pay that. Only because I don't think it's worth it. It's all about value for money with us, and like Debbie just said, especially since we're doing Southeast Asia, we're going to go to so many countries where we probably get that for £100 a night.
Yeah, or similar experience. Yeah.
So we don't need to do that. We don't need to be pampered like that for that kind of money when you can go to another country and be pampered all week for that money.
Yeah, fair point. The mid-range stays we're on to now, and this is apparently great for couples, so possibly for us.
Okay.
The Adiwana Svarga Loka, which is a riverside eco-resort with spa and yoga.
Mm-hmm.
£90 to £120 there per night.
It's getting more realistic, isn't it?
Well, it's still ranging in the British prices, you know, it's still not cheap.
Yeah, it seems to be set up more for tourism, and they are really making their money, Bali, out of tourism. From these prices that we're seeing,
I think it used to be known as a very cheap place to go, but obviously with the mass tourism now, I mean, they've monopolised it, and you can't blame them.
No, you can't.
Another one is an Alaya resort, and that's £100 to £150 per night. That's elegant in a central location with a great restaurant. Mm-hmm. And the last one is a Teja Prana resort and spa, and that's about the same price again, £110 to £160, and that's in the jungle, bathtubs with views. Now that sounds quite nice. It does say though, a tip: if you're going to stay longer, consider private villas with kitchens and pools. You can find beautiful options for £700 to £900 a month.
Say no more. I mean, it just be mad to pay that kind of money a day when you can get a private villa between £700 and £900 a month. I mean, come on. I mean,
it doesn't make sense,
you'd have to be mad.
Yeah. It does give me a little bit here about the food scene in this area, which is lovely, and it's considered my gluten-free options, obviously being a celiac. Now, if there's any other celiacs out there, I will quickly go through this for you because it might be really useful information. It's saying that it is incredibly gluten-free friendly, a dream for anyone with dietary restrictions. Oh. So how cool is that? So the top gluten-free and healthy eateries are, I suppose, because it's a yoga health retreat, they are catering more towards, special diets.
People considering their health.
Yes, so there's a 100% plant-based restaurant with raw foods and a gluten-free bakery.
I mean, how can it not be raw food?
Well,
plant-based.
Yeah.
I'm not a vegetarian, so if you are a vegetarian, sorry for my sense of humour there.
That one is called Alchemy. There's another one called Moxa, which is garden to table. Gluten-free is clearly marked. Sayura Healing Food. That is vegan. So I think it's all vegan. But they do have gluten-free desserts, smoothies, and macro bowls. Mm-hmm. Bali Buddha. I love that name. That has gluten-free breads and vegan and gluten-free pancakes. And the last one is Zest Ubud. And that's jungle views, creative, healthy dishes.
See, I'm not really into the healthy dishes myself.
No, you're not. I am. So I enjoy all that kind of food.
You do.
I should be really slim, really.
As I like a good burger.
Yeah, meat.
A good burger or a steak.
Oh, and also local dishes like nasi campur can be gluten-free if you skip the soy sauce and fried items. Ask staff. They're used to dietary questions.
Cool.
So this sounds like a good area for me to eat in,
Yeah.
if nothing else.
Yeah.
So it's saying here how long to stay.
In Ubud.
Ideally, 5 to 10 days. I think that's going to be too much for us.
Yeah.
You'll have time.
I think 5 days there would be plenty.
Yes, I do. You'll have time to explore temples and rice fields, do a sunrise trek or spa day, enjoy multiple yoga classes, try Ubud's famous cafes and markets. I think 5 days is going to be enough for us there.
I do.
So we end on just the budget breakdown really, and this is for accommodation, mid-range villa hotel, budget £60 to £150 per day, which isn't cheap, is it? Then food, £15 to £30.
Which again isn't cheap compared to Kuala Lumpur.
Well, it's still good. It's definitely good compared to the UK. £15 to £30 for food per day.
Well, I don't know. It wouldn't be much more.
We pay that for fish and chip takeaway. And that's just one meal in the day.
Yeah,
this is saying for all of your food throughout the day.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
I'm presuming like breakfast, lunch, and an evening meal.
Okay.
So I think that's quite good. The prices of the food there. Yeah, it's the accommodation I think is quite high. Activities can range. Well, they say in budget £10 to £20 per day. Transport £2 to £5, so it's obviously really cheap.
And that's scooter or grab rides. So
yes.
the grab rides must be really cheap.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And if you wanted to do a spa or massage, like we said, it's about £5 to £10. How amazing is that?
Yeah. So they're saying the daily budget for a couple should be around £100 to £200 a day, depending on the style, which I think is a bit more than I anticipated for Bali.
It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it'd be about half that price.
Yeah, I did.
Because of the area. So that's a surprise for me.
Yeah, yeah. So for many reasons, I think our decision to reduce our trip down from 4 weeks to 2, for us personally as a couple, is a good decision. I think.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks would be enough because we're not people to lay around on lounges all day, like Patrick said, or on a beach, or you're not into yoga,
No.
So I think it's going to be plenty 2 weeks there. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the temples and the experience of Bali.
Yeah.
But I think 2 weeks will be.
Yeah. What do you think?
Adequate.
We'd like to hear your comment. What do you think? Do you think lounging around for a month is something you'd like to do? Or are you like us, where 1 or 2 weeks is plenty in an area like that? We feel it's 1 or 2 weeks for us. On that note, if you did want some spending money, we have got a raffle. We'll put a link in the description below. And the raffle at the moment is for how much, Deb?
£1,000.
And it's 50p a ticket. So that's quite a good deal, isn't it?
It's a brilliant deal. So before the date runs out, get your tickets quickly because you never know. You could have that £1,000 in your hands.
Yeah. And it helps us as well. So thank you for doing that. And do subscribe if you want to come along the journey with us, because we'd love you to come along with us, wouldn't we?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So until tomorrow, in this very hot day in the UK,
sweating here.
We will say au revoir. Goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.